Hello, it's Jane Turner here from writewithjane.com. And in this session of Authors in Conversation, I'm speaking with Phil Voysey, who will be one of the authors on stage at the State Library of New South Wales. So welcome, Phil, and tell us a bit about your book.
Well, Cusco, A Journey from the Head to the Heart is a memoir based on my ongoing relationship with Cusco, which it was the old capital of the Inca Empire, since 1985. I lived there in 85, 86, and again in 87, 88. And I've just had an ongoing relationship with the place there ever since, and come to know a family very well that I'm still very close to, and some street kids I lived with for a while that I still keep in contact from time to time. The book really, I think, is about personal transformation through my experience of learning Spanish and also living in Peru at that particular time. And importantly too, I think I describe it as a journey to love, self-love, all sorts of love, really, familial love, friendship, romantic love, erotic love, soulmate love, and love of humanity, I guess. So that's fundamentally what it's about.
Great. And so that journey of writing the book took you on your own journey, didn't it, Phil? You've sort of found a place that you are now, you've evolved into, in a sense. I'd love to hear more about that and more about what you do now and why and how the book fed into that.
Well, the memoir really, for me, established a discipline as a writer, and also the persistence to write. Because to write something of this length, you got to stick at it. You got to be disciplined. You got to be persistent. So, whereas I used to write sort of short pieces before, this really helped me to establish, I guess, an identity as a writer through the discipline and the persistence and the years it took to write. It took quite a long time to write. So I'm writing now, and I'm working on a novel this time, which I'm very excited about, which is also largely set in Cusco or in Peru as well. In terms of where the experiences have taken me, they've made me a little bit braver, I think, in terms of venturing out and doing what I want to do with my life. So the whole experience of learning a language and living in a place like Peru involved a certain sort of disintegration of self, if you like, when you learn a language, and you discover that so much of who you are is caught up with your ability to speak, and then suddenly that disappears when you're learning another language, and that person you thought you were, you're no longer that person. You're somebody else. And that was a really, really transformative experience for me, I would have to say. And it's just made me braver to pursue my business now. I'm just in a process of rebranding and making a new website around the idea of the possibility of us, which has Andean condors flying through the air as part of its logo. So Peru's there. It's just everywhere. It's all over me and inside of me as well. So I'm branching out into, my life design coaching business, running mindfulness programs. But in essence, what I'm about these days is helping other people to realize the possibilities for themselves in their lives. I mean, we can't do whatever we want to do. I mean, that's just silly and a bit inane to say that, but we are much more than we think we're capable of. And so the business, the possibility of us, is all about helping people to explore that within themselves through training and coaching programs. And so I'm really excited about that. And it's taking me into a whole new different skill area, and that is the skill area of the entrepreneur. So I'm excited about that. It's a new journey for me. It's a journey of transformation for me as well.
Oh, I love that, Phil. And the possibility of us, that's a perfect name for what you're doing. I think that time in a lot of people's lives and the world we're living in at the moment, where change is all around us, and we find ourselves, we're either forced into change or something gives us the shock and a realization that, hey, maybe this isn't what I've been put on this earth to do.
Yeah.
maybe there is more to me. And it's often the case of, I've had coaching myself numerous times, and it's those questions that a coach will ask
Mm.
that just the words would have never come into our mouths if we weren't asked that question. And so it's a really a beautiful thing when that coaching dynamic really works in that way. And I could see you doing that so well, having many, many conversations with you, Phil. So where
Yeah.
can people find you?
It's through LinkedIn and through my phone number at this stage, because I'm still at the stage of redesigning a very, very simple one-page website. I hope I will have that up and ready to share with people on the day, on the 28th. That's my plan. But for the moment, it's mainly through LinkedIn and through my phone number.
Okay, perfect. Well, look, I'll include those in the comments here with the YouTube when I load this up to YouTube, and people can be in touch with you that way, or they can come and see you speak at the Author Showcase on the 28th of October at the State Library of New South Wales.